This is Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We are joined today by Dr. Olukemi Sawyerr. She is the director of the Student Innovation Idea Lab at Cal Poly Pomona. She brings with her one of her student geniuses, Armando Cordero, and we are so glad to have them here. Before we talk about the gadgets on the table, and we will, I want to talk to Kemi Sawyerr, Dr. Kemi Sawyerr, about what is the Student Innovation Idea Lab at Cal Poly Pomona.
Thank you so much, Brad, for having us on the show. We're so excited to be here. Cal Poly Pomona's educational philosophy is learn by doing, as you know.
I know that, yes.
And in service of his philosophy and also in service of his academic mission, Cal Poly Pomona founded the Student Innovation Idea Lab, dubbed iLab by the students in 2015.
Okay. Oh, so it's new.
It's new.
Okay.
And it's to help students to learn by doing, learn by creating, learn by inventing, learn by innovating, learn by making. And the goal of the iLab is to engender and foster innovativeness and entrepreneurialism on the Cal Poly Pomona campus by developing, maintaining, supporting a vibrant entrepreneur ecosystem on our campus as well as in the community.
What brought you to the program?
Well, I sort of created my own job. In 2009, a colleague and I, Dr. Winnie Dong from engineering, and I happened to meet.
Right.
And started talking about they have a need in engineering to turn the ideas into businesses. They didn't know how. And in business, we had a need to have good ideas that we could turn into businesses. So we decided it was a marriage made in heaven. We brought together 16 students. And in 10 weeks, they went from an idea to a product, and they sold 100 units of that product.
Wow. In
10 weeks. We told them they were going to do this, and they said, no, we can't. And said, yes, you can.
Right.
And they did. So we started that program in 2009, and it grew into now a center on campus.
So how does it work? How does it work? How do you get Armando to participate in the program? We'll get to you in a second. Don't worry.
Well, you can think of it as a funnel.
Okay.
So the top of the funnel aims to service all Cal Poly Pomona students, regardless of major or classification, whether they're freshmen or sophomore or graduate students.
And remember, it's Cal Poly, as in Polytechnic. So
yes.
You got a lot of folks there that, they play with gadgets.
Exactly. And they're used to doing things, learn by doing, learn by creating. So the goal of the program at that level is to get students to think differently. We want them to think entrepreneurially, regardless of their major.
Right.
There are many global problems looking for creative and innovative solutions. Many companies are looking for creative and innovative employees. And to maintain the U.S.'s stance globally, its innovativeness, we need entrepreneurial thinking.
That's an understatement.
So our goal is to help students think differently and deploy the tools of their discipline in an entrepreneurial, innovative, and creative manner.
How did you find out about the lab? How did you get involved in the lab?
I actually started with the idea. And I knew I needed help because I don't have certain qualities that I needed to start a business, but I knew I had a good idea. And so I walked over to the business department, and people knew Dr. Sawyerr.
Right.
And they referred me to her, and that's how we got started with working together.
I think you're being a little humble, but be that as it may, what was the process? So you walk in, you have this young upstart, walks in, use him as an example. A student walks in, what happened next?
Well, so he had his idea, he presented the idea, I wanted to do this, so together we figured out what he needed. He needed a partner, and he needed a business student who understood marketing. So that was sort of where we started. So in the iLab, he found a partner. So the iLab is a place where you can meet people of like mind and form companies. So he and Terrell got together in the iLab. They also had very practical needs. They needed to protect their invention.
Right, and let's remind our viewers that you are a manufacturing engineering major.
That's right.
So this is your strength, this is your bailiwick.
Right.
Yes.
And like you said, I used to be a lawyer, you got to protect yourself.
Yes, so we have a law firm,
brilliant.
Biomogo Law Firm there out of Las Vegas. The principal is on the iLab's advisory board. So his company provides pro bono legal services to these companies. So they did their provisional patent last summer. So it's patent pending.
Right.
And they're working now on their non-provisional patent that will get done this summer.
I take the subway system here in the Los Angeles area, and I love taking the metro. The problem is I get to my location and I usually have about a mile to go. And I really have been grappling with how do I get to that last mile, either from my home. I'm at 0.9 miles from my stop at home, and then here, for example, I'm about 1.5 miles, 2 miles. And so I wound up buying a mini Segway which I like, except there's no kind of exercise involved. I just kind of get on and it moves me.
Right.
You have a much better idea.
Well, thank you.
Much better idea.
Thank you. A lot of the customers like something that they don't have to carry.
Right.
Because of the weight. So
and it's awkward. You get on the subway, people are carrying clunky bikes, and I got my mini Segway, which isn't as clunky, but it's a little clunky.
Right. So that's why I wanted to invent something different. And I thought I had the knowledge to be able to get it to collapse even smaller by just changing the way I make it.
And so, do you have the bag next to you?
Yeah, sure.
And so we have this here. We'll have David bring you the bag. So this is the bag which this winds up in.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
you would just carry the bag. How heavy is it?
Oh, this will eventually weigh 10 pounds.
So that's doable. I mean, clearly
Absolutely.
doable.
Yeah.
Before the interview, we took some video of you. What's the reverse of collapsing?
How about opening?
Opening this product. And the product becomes what?
Well, it becomes an electric scooter.
It's like mind blowing. This little thing that's all collapsed together winds up and becomes an electric scooter.
That's right.
So you get a little exercise, right, Professor? A little
Yes,
bit.
you're carrying it around.
You're carrying it
Yes,
around,
and then
and you're
do-
moving your foot
Yeah.
like a kickstand.
But you don't move your foot because it's electric.
Oh, so, okay. So there you have it. How did you think of this?
Well,
Tell me about the brilliance, the genius.
As I know, a lot of students have this problem, and the problem is like when you park on campus, sometimes you have to park really far, and I
Right.
just thought it would be faster method to get to class, and then it ultimately turned out to be a bigger problem worldwide.
Right, right. Okay, so this is your prototype. And we saw you open it and close it. And I know you had some concerns about that opening and closing.
Absolutely.
And so this is the beginning of part 2 or version 2?
Right.
Okay,
next
tell us about
iteration.
version 2, next
Well,
iteration.
Yes, the next iteration is gonna fold kind of like a Swiss Army knife. So it's spring loaded, and you could press a button and it just
Wow.
opens up. So you don't have to worry about like what I was doing on the
Sure.
video, just opening it up.
How proud are you
Extremely proud.
of Armando and all of your students?
Extremely proud. This is what the iLab does.
Right.
They're the geniuses, the
Right.
young people. They come up with the ideas. And the purpose of the iLab is to support them by building a structure around them and connecting them to the resources that they need so they can be successful.
So where does Armando go from here? I'm sure to millionaire status, but how do we get him there?
So he is housed in an incubator
Right.
that is being developed by Cal Poly Pomona in partnership with Pomona Unified School District.
Nice.
That incubator is on the campus of Ganesha High School.
Okay.
And in that incubator space, he and his partner will be housed for 2 to 3 years. They will get mentoring, they will get funding, they will get support from angel investors, and they will get legal services like the one that I
Right.
mentioned, that's pro bono. If they're successful, they have to come back and pay these attorneys. If they're not successful, they don't owe them any money.
I'm sure you'll
Meanwhile,
be,
they
if
have-
you're successful, she'll be glad to write the
yeah,
check. I mean, it's
but
not,
meanwhile, they have a patent, on this that was filed for them for free, by these by attorneys. We're looking for service providers, attorneys who will provide services, accountants who will provide services, marketers who will provide
so
services.
listen to what the professor's saying.
So these are the
You can
people
give
we
back.
need to be behind these students, come alongside of them to support them so that they could take flight and eventually graduate from the incubator and become a startup located in the city of Pomona, paying rent, hiring people, having a product to sell.
Brilliant.
Isn't that awesome?
Her name is Dr. Olukemi Sawyerr. She is the director of the Student Innovation Idea Lab at Cal Poly Pomona. Bringing with her is